Good morning, good morning, good morning. Welcome to 7 Minutes of Inspiration with Seven. I am coming to you from my YouTube channel. It is a channel that is dedicated to the motivation and empowerment of others through real life situations that we often face. I don't know who this video is for, but I have went through a whole lot to try to get this recorded. And so I know sometimes when we're seeking to get something out there that may be an encouragement to someone else, we're going to be tried ourselves. So again, I come to you this morning. I am blessed to be alive. Going after those things that have been purposed over my life for so long. Even as I arised on this morning, I started by pouring motivational items into myself with prayer, making sure that I was aligning my thoughts before I seek to pour into others, because we got to make sure that we're receiving as we're pouring, because we don't want to become drained. And so one of the things that began to touch heavily on my heart was regret. Many of us have been through situations in our life that have caused us to move into feelings of regret, whether or not if we made the right choices and letting certain things go, whether or not we made the right choices and moving forward with certain purpose and plans that in that time, it felt like it was time. And so I'll share with you, I went through a season where I was warned about regret. And what I was advised at that time, because I was in a very, very, very bad relationship, and they knew of, and somewhat my husband, now my children's father, at that time, that he was a great guy. And they told me, they were like, the worst thing you can have in life is regret. Right now you're in a situation that's not good for you. It's not good for your household. It's not good for your daughters and who you're trying to raise. Your kid's father at that time is a great guy. The last thing you would want to do is have regrets if he were to move on and find someone else. And I'm telling you, there was a wake-up call that came over my life like never before. I got my mess together. And so I thank God for that. And I'll continue to share on that story. But it is truly, me and my husband's story is truly a blessing, how we came together. We spent many, many years as friends, and how God brought us together, brought us back together as husband and wife. And so most recently, I've been even faced with going through another season of regret, because often we don't recognize those mountains when they present themselves again, because they may not come in the same form. Now, back then I was challenged in a relationship to get myself together and not spend my days in regret for making the wrong choices. Now it comes in corporate journey. Now it comes in my entrepreneurial journey. Those things that I may not go after because I'm feeling maybe it's not that season for me. Maybe it's not time. Maybe I'm not equipped enough. All kinds of things. But in reality, I mean, I cannot express or share it enough. The worst thing you can live within life is regret. Most recently, I have been placed in this situation through an opportunity, work opportunity. It's something that I didn't go after because maybe at that time I felt like I wasn't equipped enough. I might have felt that it wasn't my time. But keep in mind that every time God prepares you to go after that next opportunity, you're going to have that other thing come in your ear and tell you how much you're not ready, how much you're not equipped, how much you may not be efficient for the opportunity that lies ahead. I'm going to tell you now, because I'm living it. Go for it. It is showtime. We got to stop doubting ourselves and we got to go for it. If you don't eliminate yourself from knowing whether or not you were qualified for this opportunity, moving into this next step of your entrepreneurial journey, walking out that faith walk, living by faith and not by sight, you will rob yourself of so many different things that you can have in your life. And when you begin to rob yourself, there's many other spirits that begin to take form to drive you insane. So again, I say it's showtime. I have to remind myself of this. I am more than efficient for the causes, the purpose and plans that God has placed over my life. No one can stop that. No one can teach that. That is something that is a gift that God gave me. We all have gifts that lie inside of us that no one can take from us. Many people are going to be intimidated by the gifts that they see inside of you, but you still got to go for it. because it's showtime. We are in the second quarter of 2019. There are many different things that A lot of us have declared over our life that we wanted to have, we're gonna have, we want to see come in the natural form. Well, a lot of times you're going to be presented with opportunities that's going to test you to go for it. And if you don't, often you will find yourself living in regret. And it doesn't mean that God's not going to bring you out of that season, because he will. But the next time you're presented with that mountain or any other mountain, you're going to know it's showtime, because sometimes you are being tested about going for those things that you say that you really want. And so regret is something else. It's something else, because regret sits in your face every single day. You're often reminded of regret. I'm grateful that I haven't done a lot of things that I regret, but in reality, there are things that I wish I would have went for. There are choices that I made I wish I would not have made, but I learned from it. And so even starting this channel, it was something I was not ready to go for. I had it in the plans to share my story with more and more people, but it was just always a plan. Like, I'm gonna plan to do this, and I put it on my whiteboard and I put it on my vision board, but just not going for it. And so this time, when that same thought, when that same process, when I began to have even other people pour into my life about going after those things that truly I was a blessing to others with, I didn't hesitate. Because you never know what God is doing. You never know who he has you reaching. You never know who that message is for. You never despise small beginnings, because a lot of times we're looking at the opportunity. Is the opportunity big enough? It doesn't matter if it's big enough. It's a part of the plan. It's the vehicle. It's the pilot that's going to get you there. So 7 minutes of inspiration. I hope that everyone has an amazing day. I leave you with, as always, refuse to live less than your best, because that's what you've been called to be. Thank you.